tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. They start the drive with Cook. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Again, it's Cook. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
But Charles, this Thanksgiving tradition, so great. I mean, going back essentially through the full century of the NFL, I know you probably have a lot of fond memories of Thanksgiving Day football yourself.
I certainly do, and I don't have the Turkey Bowl tradition. You know, the families that go out and play and then come in and sit down to their feast and watch football. I remember reading remember the Lions jumping on the Packers on Thanksgiving Day. The only loss the Packers had in 1962, and they sacked Bart Starr over 10 times in that game. And I remember Dave Williams from the Bears returning the overtime kickoff for a touchdown to win a game on Thanksgiving Day. I remember so many different things happening, but how much fun is it each and every year to know that you've got football on Thanksgiving Day?
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Now, this defense for the Lions, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Cook up the gut.
And down to the 41.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
This complete to Langford.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Well, whatever script they put together for this offensive drive, Charles, seems to be working. I'm curious to see if this defense will make any adjustments here.
Things certainly going according to plan, aren't they? I mean, the way they're advancing the football, it's like they're on the practice field having one of their better days. But instead, it's game day, and they're moving the ball downfield with purpose.
Room for Jacobs there on first down as he takes this one forward for a pickup of about 7.
The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. Down to the 25. So play number 10 now coming. It's been a long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
And now the field goal team on for Buffalo. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and the Bills' opening drive yields 3. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Brought down by Ed Oliver.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw.
That throw taken in by Jamison Williams.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Back to throw here. And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, they come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's got some space here. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities. And we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash too.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Works right side into the hands of the tight end, Knox. He'll get it inside the 20. Touchdown, Bills! Dawson Knox, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
And what a weapon he is at the tight end spot, because when they throw him the football downfield, they count on him getting additional yardage almost every time. And that's exactly what he did there. Caught that, ran with it, all the way to the end zone.
10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint. Down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his...
And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Ed Oliver in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double teamed and sometimes triple teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. You know, thinking of this Thanksgiving Day game, Charles, for years we've heard the talk, why don't we open up these Thanksgiving Day games instead of just being Detroit and Dallas every year, give other teams a shot to host? I know you're kind of like me, a bit of a traditionalist, but what do you have to say to that, CD?
I think it's a great argument, and the league could support it quite well, where you could move games to different spots and still be very successful on Thanksgiving Day. But you're exactly right. I am a traditionalist. I really don't want Detroit and Dallas to give up those slots. I like the fact that we watch them each and every year. But what I really like is that the league added a 3rd game in 2006. And usually it's division rivals, but that's the 3rd one of the day, and it caps off a great day of football.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Back to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Well, I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield. And he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okwuegbunam. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Again, he'll drop to throw. That's complete. It's Okwuegbunam. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Down near the goal line, things really get physical. You're always anticipating a running play, but when they do throw it, things happen quickly. A little bit of a bang-bang play there that falls incomplete.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. In motion goes the tight end. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown.
Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the 1st half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. And he is going to score. It's a pick-6 and a Bills touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Now the extra point. And the route is on here in this 1st half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away.
Taken in at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track? The ball popped in the air and intercepted.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Getting the ball is Cook running left.
To about the 26 here.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They're going to look to throw.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Justin Reed.
And the Lions are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that. But I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception. Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
Second and 3. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
3 yards remain for 2nd down.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted.
Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bills are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown on a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
He's put up numbers in this one by pushing the envelope a bit whenever he could with deeper throws. Well, let's play a little philosophy here. Some plays it works. Sometimes they're ready for you. And that time, they were on guard. Incomplete.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. They'll set up to throw. It's complete to Cook. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down.
And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake.
I know, without even asking, without even looking in your direction, that you are not a fan of that call.
Oh, I wish you would look, Brandon, because I was actually thinking this would be the perfect time for a fake.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. This deep in your own territory. Look, I'm all for being unconventional. That part's cool, and I get it. But this deep, I just don't think it was the right time to make that call.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Max Crosby. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again.
And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Max Crosby able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one. In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Bills are going to take possession of the football.
So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spend in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line.
15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed,
he rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Lions will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter, it would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. But it's caught on the right side at Smith.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. They'll look to throw here.
A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here.
The kick by Bass is good. Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
And the last time out, they had the good drive going. You get in the red zone, they throw the interception. Not their first pick of the game either, so we'll see if they're more careful, more cautious here on this drive.
Yeah, nothing worse than repeat mistakes, right? You end up coughing the ball up, you end up throwing a pick, everything goes awry, and now points don't go up on the board. I just heard a fan scream out, I thought the idea was to score points. Yeah, they're getting a little restless too.
2nd and 6. He'll buy some time right.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far.
Buda Baker with a pick.
Well, he exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Bills are going to take possession of the football.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
2nd and goal from the 1.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Well, what they're seeking with an RPO is space for the receiver to make a catch and then make a play downfield, but there wasn't any space available, thus the incompletion.
And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Bills take advantage of the short field and finish it off with a quick touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has now allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete, and this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he is going to have the Lions first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Max Crosby. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football, CD. That's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, we saw that they had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
They run it again with Cook. They find some open field here.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 79 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them. And boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
They run the counter with Cook. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 12 yards that time, and a Bills 1st down.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Up the middle, it's Cook. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
And now the field goal team on for Buffalo. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or 2, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one goes for 24 yards.
Now Fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Max Crosby, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. They'll drop to throw. And now here is an option.
And the Bills are going to take over at their own 30-yard and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
The Bills on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Third down. Here's a run by Cook.
And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. The Bills send the punter out. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. A 40-yard punt, no return. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bills are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40.
11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Now Cook running right. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense